Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions. Now today I'm going to be hitting up a new little mini series kind of that I'm going to be doing and hopefully finding one for each and every single class that's in the game. But first off, I want to start with the Tech class. This series is the Hidden Gems series. Now a lot of people are probably thinking, you know, when you pull characters from the from the 4-star crystals, 5-star crystals, whatever it may be, you're probably thinking when it comes to the Tech class, you're really disappointed if you don't pull a Star-Lord, an Ultron, or a Vision Age of Ultron, because those are, you know, those are the top 3 characters, at least for that class, at least what most people think. I'm here today to take a closer inspection of what I think is a very, very hidden gem in Civil Warrior, a character that really separates himself from the Tech class in a lot of different aspects of the game, aside from, you know, Ultron being able to bleed and regenerate, or Star-Lord, who is absolutely immensely insane as far as the power that he puts out for quests and things of that nature, and also Vision Age of Ultron, which we all think of as a power kind of player. You know, you want to keep the power in check, go for Vision Age of Ultron or OG Vision Classic, which not everybody has because they were only offered a certain period of time where you had to pay for it. What I want to look at with Civil Warrior is his abilities, and it's a huge, huge key thing. There will be little clips that play above while we do this as well. Arc Shield isn't exactly the most pivotal thing. He doesn't have to be awakened for this character to be as good as he is, in my opinion, as a hidden gem in the Tech class. But it does definitely help, especially if you're going to be using this guy on defensive purposes. So we have an upgrade to Civil Warrior's Arc Shield, grants him 2 armor up charges at the start of the fight. Additionally, he receives 16.53% special damage resistance while blocking. So if you throw this guy on defense and he is awakened, and he is in a blocking stance while your opponent is trying to hit him with one of their specials, then he's going to take 16.5% less damage from that special, which is absolutely key as far as I'm concerned for defensive purposes. Another huge thing is the armor ups with the when attacked. For each armor up effect active, Civil Warrior's Advanced Stark Tech protects him further, reducing enemy offensive ability accuracy by 15% per armor up charge. So at the very start of the fight, the champions that are going up against you are going to already have a detrimental 30% reduced offensive ability accuracy. So when you throw this guy on defensive purposes, he's got an immense start right there if he's awakened. If you go up against him with characters like Scarlet Witch, they're not really going to be able to do a lot because her offensive abilities aren't going to proc as much. I know she's a huge, huge key player for Alliance Wars and still is. It's not going to help as much. Same with a lot of the other characters that people may bring into Alliance Wars, such as Age of Ultron Vision, who is going to want to try and power regulate this guy. His power drain is not going to work as effectively, and neither is most other characters in the game. This guy was usually a pain in the rear end for me whenever I was hitting up Alliance Wars, until I figured out how to bypass all of this stuff and push him to his L2. Unless the person that's going up against him knows that, they're going to have a very difficult time, especially with Map 6. I got a lot of experience with this guy on Alliance Quest Map 6 in Season 3, and he was just a pain in the rear end, especially the very first time that I went in and played in Alliance Quest Map 6. I didn't know these things, and he was on a power gain path that I was involved in, and I thought, okay, let's bring in Age of Ultron Vision, and no power drains. None. Ever. Whatsoever. Until I was able to figure out, push him to his L2, and then we'll see what happens. But that's a huge, huge key thing for him when he's on defensive purposes. Another huge key thing for me on offense is the fact that on heavy attacks, because we get a lot of regen characters in this game, especially if we're playing like in arena or things of that nature, a lot of times we end up with some really heavy regen characters in the special mission quests that we go up against. Most importantly, this last one that's in play right now, the King Groot's Loot, there is a quest where we have to go up against a very heavy regen character in Deadpool. And the only character that I played against him with that really shined for me was Civil Warrior, and that was only surpassed by Star-Lord. So the really key thing is 100% chance to inflict heal block, preventing the target from recovering health for 3 seconds. Now that's not very long, right? Not very long at all, but we take a closer inspection of the actual special attacks. If the opponent is under the effect of a heal block debuff, that heal block is replaced with a 10-second heal block. That's huge. Absolutely huge, because you have plenty of time at that point to go from just stacking special 1 attacks over and over and over again, and it does go off of a 10-second heal buff as well. So if you have a 10-second heal buff on after you use your heavy attack, use your special 1 or special 2 that you've built up, and you continue to use your special 1 after that point, it's going to continually reoccur as a special heal block every single time. Doesn't matter if the 10 seconds is elapsed. Well, you don't want it to elapse. You want to do it in between those time frames, but I mean, I digress, but it's absolutely insane. I know a lot of people probably don't think of a Civil Warrior Special Attack 1 being hugely over, but the fact here, we've got Civil Warrior triggers his advanced Stark tech, gaining 4 armor up charges, each increasing armor rating by 352.94% for 10 seconds. Those are huge. Huge numbers for Alliance Wars defense. If he continually sits to stack and stack and stack up his special 1, that's 4 armor ups right there. 4 armor ups is equal to 60%. 60% of offensive ability accuracy decrease. That is huge for me on Alliance Wars defense. And another, like I said earlier with Age of Ultron Vision, a lot of times we think he's good for power regulation. So is Civil Warrior. A really looked over character in that aspect. Special Attack 2 depletes up to 60% of the max power from the target. The only thing that Age of Ultron Vision has going is the fact that he can power steal too. Not only is he going to deplete the power, but he's going to steal a little bit of it back. Civil Warrior doesn't exactly do that. But if you don't have Vision, this guy's your key go-to tech character for that kind of thing. Special Attack 3, 100% chance to power drain, depleting up to 55% of the target's max power. If the target is reduced to 0 power from this attack, they also become power locked for 6 seconds. That's a huge key opening right there. Huge key opening. If you can make sure that your opponent has 55% or less power, and you proc an L3, you're going to power lock stun that character for at least 6 seconds. That's awesome to me. This guy gets overlooked way too much. But to me, Civil Warrior is definitely a hidden gem. If you have him and you feel like, oh man, this sucks that I got this character, don't feel that way. He's absolutely insanely good. Insanely good in my opinion. If you don't believe me, take him out for a test run. Take him into that quest while we still have it with King Groot's Loot. Take him up against that Deadpool. See how well he does for you. But alright guys, that's going to be it for the very first episode of Hidden Gems. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider leaving a sub on it. And if you do, hit that bell notification button so you get notifications every single time I post a video. Or follow me on Twitter. Link will be down in the description below. You'll get notifications every single time I post videos there or a live stream. But as always guys, I'll catch you in the next episode. Later.